One of our food plots is aggressively being hit by pound per pound, the most destructive critter you can have in your food plot. We can clearly tell it's a groundhog. We can tell by our utilization cage, the way he has come in and clean nipped off these soybeans instead of coming in and pulling on them like a deer would. And normally they have a concentrated browse. Unlike a deer who's going to browse sporadically throughout a food plot, those groundhogs will concentrate in the area, follow that concentrated area to the nearest wood line, and usually find a trail to their den or the den itself. We put the spy point cameras out and caught them red-handed. Now it's time to come up with a plan.
The Hunting Grounds is brought to you by Everett Chevrolet of Northwest Arkansas and by Bedford Camera and Video, Hook, Line, and Sinker Outdoors, Bowtech, Muddy Outdoors, Wet Ink Design, Gold Tip, Eagleseed, Shaybug Design, Nose Jammer, Luminox, Four Wheel Concepts, Morel Targets, Popeyes of Northwest Arkansas, Spypoint.
Welcome back to the Hunting Grounds, and as we promised, we're trying to produce an episode for you guys every single week. In order to do that, one week we're going to have a management-centered episode, and the next week it'll be hunt with some management tips. And we'll go back and forth, filling your guys' needs. Well, like most of you, I'm preseason scouting, or those of you that are biting at the bit to get out there and do so, I encourage you to do it. But this week we're going up to a new piece of property up in Missouri, known to hold big bucks, doing some preseason scouting. Let's take a look. Seen any either. We're taking a look at a lot of new property here in south central Missouri, and usually when you're dealing with a lot of property, it's hard to know what kind of deer you have on there. So we've got a lot of our spy points that we're setting out today. Take for instance this area. We've got a perfect intersection. We've got a ridge road that's running right up here on top of this ridge. It's cleared. Deer clearly probably use it. We've got a draw here that comes to an end, deer wrapping around, and we've got a perfect intersection area. So we've come in here, we've got our spy point C4, we're going to set it up. We put corn out in front of us, we put it in a U shape, facing the camera. That way if we do have, hopefully we do have, about 10 different bucks come in, it's going to allow us clear photos of each buck. We aren't going to congregate them on a single big pile. Also, if you do those big piles, you get a rain in here, it's going to mold, it's going to mildew and mess up. But with this, it's a little bit more thin. Hopefully if the rain does come in, it has time to dry out. But this way, all the deer that come in, you're going to be able to clearly tell all the different characteristics of all their antlers and hopefully be able to identify them correctly. So we got our spy point C4 set up. We're going to turn it on, lock and load, get out of here. Hopefully about a week and a half, we're going to get back up here. Hopefully we have some studs on camera. You know, so we've been driving around looking at all these different properties. This year we had a really late season frost. We saw it in a lot of our apple trees and acorn trees that we're seeing. There's just not a whole lot of production, if any at all. So when you're out scouting this season, take a look, really find those trees that are going to be producing, because those are going to be the key trees to be setting up underneath. Last year we had a lot of acorn crop. It's very hard to figure out where the deer were going to be. They were just dispersed throughout the woods everywhere. Well, this year it's going to be a completely different story with not as many acorns. You find those key trees and hopefully you'll set up on that big buck. So that's the last spy point on this piece of property. A lot of acres here, more than we could even cover. We've got a lot of trail cams out. We kind of broke it down into smaller sections. We've got as many cameras out as we can. We've baited them in front. We're gonna leave them for a week, come back out, take a look at the trail cam photos, find out where the bucks that we wanna target for the most part, and get back in there, put more cameras out, see if we can pattern these bucks. And if we don't get the bucks that we want, then we're gonna move on to other parts of the property. But we know we're gonna get some great bucks on some of these properties. And this one especially, it's overlooking this alfalfa. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you got something out of it. Make sure you stay tuned in. We've got a lot of episodes to come, and don't miss one. Sign up at THG-TV for free video emails. And until next time, go to every way to get a youth or a new hunter involved in the outdoors. And as always, have a better than average day. It picks, grabs, holds, and it's delicate with the
Apple Picker 3000.
Yeah, look at this right here. Look at that Mac Daddy right there. You see that? That one's mine. Coming home in the hunt. Oh. Stud.
You're long arming it.
It's like a whirlwind.
Is that one mine?
Mm-hmm. Except the skin. Yeah.